I wrote something a bit poetic earlier. It's always better when you just write it than when you try to repeat it. But I'm speaking too fast. Excuse me, I don't want to. And if you get sick of me talking, I'll just play the flute. Because I'm not really very good at this. So I can do it through my nose, and then you're all like, yeah, that was entertaining. Let's see. That mosque has just been destroyed. That's a hundreds of years old mosque, which was obviously a sacred place for a long time. People from Gaza have an ancient culture. Gaza was a port before we knew what, I guess, something like, before anybody heard of London or something like that, I'm sure, you know. And I like that you can see that it was actually just a normal, healthy town like any other normal, healthy town, you know. And people have lineages that go back those thousands of years, and that is in the blood. That is who we are. We are not who we appear to be and what people will think about us on Facebook. And if I write that, well, what will they think? And if I don't message them back, what matters? And will they message me back? And it's not this. That's not who we are. We are this living stream of our ancestry. And it's really, really important to listen to our elders, listen to their stories. Because if the stories get lost from being oral and only become written down, we become kind of a little bit victim to the writing down of them. Do you see what I'm saying? In that way, but living, because if you write something down, you don't have to like be it to remember it and know it. And what the Native Americans said is, you guys made a big mistake by writing stuff down. We have to live it, to know it, to teach it to our children, to show them the example, you know? And that's the real work. And anyway, let's see if we can find another picture. But I like it, and we imagine this is the most densely populated place on Earth. All the buildings have gone down, and we have to find a solution to this, and it has to be yesterday. And I think that what I wanted to say is the word on the street is that most people in most countries feel the same, even if in some places they're supposedly responsible representative people are saying something else. So know that that spirit is kind of, you know, the spirit of wanting an actual healthy answer and wishing the best for everybody and wishing a nice outcome is there everywhere. And there's something that unifies that is beyond, you know, the actual communications. Communication is good. So and it's making people to reassess things. And hopefully that reassessment doesn't bring anger or revenge, because those things always bring casualties of innocence. It comes from a place of, okay, let's be really strong. Okay, let's go to the next slide, because I don't have long. I don't know what time did I start, then I can count how many minutes I've got. Wait a second. This is a Palestinian village. And lots of people, I said, where's this? They said, that's my village. And then I said, okay, let me have a look on the other pictures of that village. No, it's not actually. But it's nice because it could be almost any Palestinian village. And what's nice is look at how the people are all together. The sense of community, where did that get lost? Why is that not still everywhere? You know, it's beautiful. All the children together, people, they made bread in an oven for everyone. You think anyone there would go hungry? So why we've got all this stuff now and then people are going hungry? It's insane. We can fix this. There are solutions. We just need more communication, sitting in circles and stuff. No, wrong way. Okay, this speaks for itself. I've had contact with this lovely, wise gentleman. I very much recommend looking at his work. Oh, wait, wrong way. So he's brilliant, Dr. Sayyid Hussein Nasser. He's a teacher of Islamic philosophy. A very, very wise person. One of the things that we use quotes for him is the fact that nature is a living expression of God and of spirit, and it has a voice, and we just have to remember how to listen to it. And I think it's very important. I don't know if you can read, I can't read that well from here, but Bismillah wallah. Okay, then this is about, you can have a look. Just the thing about technology, I'd like to talk a little bit about that before we finish, but there's something to say. I thought I'd be speaking, you'd be able to read as well, but actually you probably can't, but I think this is important. So yeah, the thing about medicine, where do we start, the way things are going? You know, all the medicines for everything are in nature. And also there's a spiritual aspect to every sickness as well. So if we go deep enough, we can find the answer from there as well. But we do have to deal with the symptoms sometimes. So, we're always looking for the cause. It's always something in our lives. We can't always understand it. We can pray a lot. We might be given understanding. Maybe it's something we have to change. Maybe it's something that happened to us. But we will find always the answer if we go deep enough. But going deep is a very courageous journey. It takes a lot of strength. We need to only support each other on that and nothing else. Okay, is that right? Okay, this is what I do. So if anybody knows me, they know already what I do, and if they don't, so I started working on these images of the Bedouin and the monks when I was in St. Catherine 5 years. I used to live 5 years before that. I lived down by the sea. I was working with kids and talking people out of going to the army and stuff like that. Back, right, and doing music all the time and things. Swimming with dolphins sometimes is really nice, and playing music every night with another musician from another place. And then something happened. I felt like I went back up to the mountains. And so I find the pictures of the ancestors of the tribe I was living with, and they were really beautiful. And I said, well, somebody could do something on these. And I start teaching myself. And I get good really fast, because if I had a question about the work, I just go on like LinkedIn groups and ask like experts, and there's like 12 people earning $5,000 an hour in New York just ready to give me the answers. So I've done this every day for the last years. And if you give me an old photo, especially not from a WhatsApp or Facebook or something, but the actual original thing where all the information is, you see, it's not the same if you give a printer a WhatsApp picture and say print it, because it's only a small resolution. So you need all the information of the original picture. We've got a lot of tools, and I guess I've used most of them. People say, oh, you can do that with AI, but it's not actually true. It makes a mess most of the time. It just takes a little bit of thought as well. So this, again, I'm saying that before this last time of mass media and technology, there were unbroken lineages of people. And the sad thing about Gaza, as we know, we have people in this region and Christians in this region. I know about the Christian side more because I'm Christian, which which go back to the time of Christ. Some of those families have now been completely destroyed. And this is just such I wish that they are praying for us from heaven and trying to help us to share what they know, because they don't make a lot of noise. And the old people have a lot of answers, and wisdom always has a lot of answers, but it's not something that shouts. It's something that you have to go and look for, and it's worth us looking for it. Let me continue. This is just a bit showing the technical side of the work. This is pretty bad. This is the print that I got, and then you see I found all those patterns inside the cloth. And sometimes you can get like Arabic writing on walls that you couldn't read, or you've got like an old house ownership thing which was written in pencil, and then with the digital tools you can kind of bring that stuff out. I was just showing about that. Okay, let's go. Ooh, fancy. Okay, this is showing how sometimes these photographers, they took like panorama images, and it's mad because if they cut out the photos and printed them, stuck them together, they never actually fit. So they kind of must have known that someone like me is going to come along later and try and like actually do it. It's kind of weird how many people did it, even though they knew they kind of couldn't. And it's really lucky for us that they've survived. So this is like, oh, stop that. There's so this is one of Jerusalem. You see the angles are quite different, and it just takes this might take a few days, and that one I've done over a long period of time. That's a man from 1940. I'll show you that in a second. So there's things we can do with technology. The thing with technology is people don't need it, but are we strong enough? The question is, I don't know if we're strong enough, especially as it's all owned by a few people. That's the danger of it, and I want to get to that in a minute. Okay, so, that's some man from 1940. You can have a look at it upstairs, and if you've seen this screen, she'll tell you about the picture. You can see the Westermann wasn't there, and most of the life was around the downtown, and there's a river going through, and it was really nice. And we're going to see more about that in a minute. So this is the Diwan of the Duke. And does anyone know the Duke? Go like, whoa, if I know the Duke, if you know the Duke. Well, amazing. So I don't have to say anything about him because you all know he's incredible. He's incredible. Like, he didn't move from Jebel Joffe when everyone else goes to like Darbouk and Abdoun and all this kind of thing, And he's still living in the same house that his father grew those trees. It's incredible. So he's seen a lot. And I mean, again, wisdom doesn't push itself out. You have to go and look for it. He's a special person. So his Diwan is here, and this came from his collection, came from a tiny little 8-centimeter picture, and I love him to death. And when I asked him, so this is one of the points I wanted to get to, and I'm kind of drifting around, but I asked him, like, what are your thoughts about the world right now? He said the technology. He said, why are we not using it collectively to fix things? And I kind of come back with, well, if we're not as evolved enough to use a very simple concept like money without it being like the main tool of social abuse, how are we able to use something like social media communication with responsibility? We have to evolve and grow up fast. And importantly, the people who own it and develop it are faster than us. And they've got these AIs and stuff. So we have to be very, very careful. So it's great to use something, but unless you can live without it, it's no longer great because it kind of owns you. And I say the same thing about online money. Like, they're about to make it that you can only use, they want to, we can stop them, we can say no, but they're about to make it that you can't do anything without their approval. They're going to say the environment or something like that. No, it's about controlling you, because there's a tiny number of people who own everything, and we are 8 billion people, and they kind of don't like that. So it's really important. Like, money you put online is not yours anymore, it's theirs. And people are about to see that if they get away with what they're trying to get away with. So use our minds right now to find ways of making it work anyway. And if we are no longer able to feed the population from the land, then we're in trouble. So, and that money and that internet has an off switch. And if they really panic, they might use it. So just be aware of this, like, keep your connections and relationships strong, and sharing is always the solution. It was for thousands of years. That's the Native American people. So there's something I wanted to get, the Duke, yeah, you know, all the airport roads, them to build villas like it is before then and after, because he said this is the food of the future generations. This was not the airport road, it was the bread basket to the Middle East. They used to take wheat all the way to Jerusalem, you know. So it's a very good starting point. It's like, you know, having your basics growing for the land, make sure everybody's got something to eat, and then trade and do business park and all these new apps and all these, you know, we can win this, but we have to remember what we knew before all of these things, or we get washed away. And I'm not saying it's our fault. It is someone else's fault, but we kind of have to deal with the actual situation of that. So, that's what I was saying, right? So use every resource we've got in order to apply. And what I want to say about the Native American societies is that we have people, there's people today, they're living in the same house as they lived in 1,000 years ago. And somehow they have never had a war. Somehow it works, right? 10,000 years. And we say primitive. Well, all this Darwinism, I think it was the main tool of empire expansion, to be very honest. I think people knew much more before than we know now. And we're just forgetting. We get denser and we get heavier. But when we don't do the same mistakes as our ancestors, we also kind of start to heal stuff. But so this is really important. And also another thing is, so if they knew, so their societies were not based on laws telling each other what to do. They were based on sacred values. And you ask the Hopi, for example, in Arizona, who I had some kind of contact with, how did you live 10,000 years in the same house? They say 3 things. They say, we give thanks for what we have, we do offerings to the Creator, and we respect the women and children. And this is that it? Yes. If you actually do it, it works. Like, respect means like, not, I want a woman. It means, I respect you and your future husband, unless it's me. And if it is, I'm ready to sacrifice my life to you. And the same the other way around. And the children are more important than us, so we have to think about that, you know what I mean? They say there's the one hearts and the two hearts. The time of purification coming, the one hearts survive and the two hearts fall away. They say the biggest danger to the one hearts is the two hearts. This is really, really important. So we have to keep all these really sacred, all these really sensitive things. The biggest spiritual service that we have is protecting our heart. And we can do that by keeping it in God's hands and no one else's. Because He arranges everything for our good. Do you want me to finish? Yeah, okay. Just 2 more pictures or something. All right? Oh, okay, I'll finish you with this and you'll enjoy it and then we'll go home. This is 2 minutes. This is man. This is how people were. So this is only a couple of generations ago. This is ancestral memory for half the people here. Ooh, yeah, good, thank you. God bless you all. Anyone wants to ask anything afterwards, I'm going to sit with the pictures a bit, drink as much coffee and smoke as much cigarettes as I can. And this is my backup, you see. I got this flute in case I couldn't talk. Look, this is Amman. It's beautiful. This is what the foundation. Remember in the lockdown when everything stopped, you can actually feel it was like this. Put the river back, everything will get better again. That's the bridge, look at that. Even the cows, how are they going to get over that? Then they get cars, like, oh, we can't have a bridge like that. But maybe without cars, and the bridge rise. And anyway. I stole this from someone's Facebook page, by the way, so I want to give him credit. Okay? Thank you very much. If anyone needs anything from me, just this is like reawakening the past. And just let me know anytime and hand you over to the competent hands of Dana, who's an incredible presence upon this planet.
Thank you. Keep it on. I just want to turn it. Thank you, Kelvin, for sharing your work and your insights. Just a question, so you have prints for sale downstairs, correct?
Yeah, and we have catalogs. Just give us your number and you can see everything that we have. We print to order, but we also have some prints for sale downstairs.
Yeah, so catch Kelvin downstairs. So since Kelvin took us to the past, let's stay there for a moment, to 1948 to be exact.